Whoa. To further complicate the matters, we can play with the compound light sources. Who said that there should be just one hotspot? Nonsense, there can be as many as you wish. So I'm pressing Shift D to duplicate our first key light. Let's rename it right away to keep things tidy. Let's scale it down considerably so we can move it really close to our light modifier and make it super punchy. Like a super punchy light area giving away the harder light. You decide how punchy you want it to be. We can extend it vertically to make it look like a lightsaber. The dimensions or proportions of light is yet another super exciting topic that we won't go into right now. So we've got the lightsaber thing going within our compound light source. It's already awesome, gives it a bit of a harder edge. Now we can change its temperature as well. We can add some complexity to the light, not only in terms of its shape, the shape of the hotspot, but also in terms of the colors it emits. That will hopefully result in some extra visual interest and separation on the model. It usually does. One thing that still bothers me is that we can still see our virtual softbox right in the viewport. What we can do about it is visit the object properties for the light modifier and untick the camera rays visibility. It'll make it invisible for our camera. Then it's up to you to decide on the balance of these elements of our compound light source. I don't know, maybe we can dampen the lightsaber element a bit? But then I quite liked the balance as it was before. So I think I'll reduce the wattage of the first light as well, ever so slightly. Alright, so that's yet another cool thing that we can do with our key light and all other lights for that matter. It is also worth reiterating that one of the main functions of the key light is drawing or modeling the curvature or 3D shape of what it illuminates. To play a bit more with that aspect of our key light, I'll go ahead and clear the stage by toggling our HDRI environment off for a moment. What I'm going to do next is add some extra key lights to help bring out some features of the face. That's one of the natural centers of interest, and it's a no-brainer to draw some beautiful gradients in that area and generally to push some more exposure there. So we have our softbox thing with a couple of lights behind it. Let me toggle its visibility back on temporarily to see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna grab one of these lights and this softbox and just copy it out with Shift D and move it into a new collection as well, I think. I'll call this one light underscore key underscore 02, surprise. To tweak one light at a time, I'll focus on this new collection only. So this is light underscore key underscore 02B. Look, I always rename everything. Okay, so I made this modifier a bit smaller, and the only thing I'm looking for here is a nice soft gradient and a nice reflection revealing the hard surface shapes of that part of the face, the eyes or lenses area specifically, and the part underneath with a bit of exposure slipping through the glass and lighting the beautiful electronics underneath. How sharp do we want this light to be? That's the question. The light spot shape could be made more focused, I think, to help bring out the details. Okay, then do we need to adjust the softbox material? We can try. That's why I'm giving it a new material just in case, though I don't think making it more transparent is any better after trying. So yeah, never mind, that was just a test. False alarm. Okay, switching back to the material preview mode in the top view. Sadly, it doesn't show the translucency, but yeah, I guess we have what we have. Now let's have a look at all the key light elements together. For separation, just to make it more interesting, we can give the second key light a yellowish tone, not too saturated though, just a touch, and calibrate its strength so it's subtle enough. Just adding a tiny bit of exposure there, to be honest. Just so we can pick up those sweet details. That looks good to me. Now toggling back our HDRI. I think that's much better with that extra source. It helps to show off that important part of the face and show off our crazy modeling we spend so much precious time on, if you know what I mean, which is always a bonus. Interestingly, while there are a couple of different lights kind of doing slightly different things, they still work together. Conceptually, all of this is our key light, a compound key light, let's say. Finally, let's get rid of the ray visibility of our light modifiers once again. To sum it up, we have just set up our main light, which purpose is to draw some exposure on what really matters, and do it in a way which makes it feel round and deep and hopefully motivated by the environment we are trying to depict. Cinematic lighting is all about control though, and it is important to be able to control the contrast levels, and we need some other light to be able to fill in those shadows, or on the contrary to deepen those shadows, to ultimately control the contrast ratio. For that we need a fill light, so let's talk about it.